Ryan, talk about coming into training, after a big win and the difference you see with the guys' mentality.
Well, no, in all honesty, not really, because they work really hard when they come in, win, lose, or draw. We put that to we tick that box and we move on to the next one. Obviously, winning helps in anything, but no, the guys' attitude has been great all season.
You talk again about Andrew Wiedemann and you talk about what a player puts into training day in and day out, and he always seems to be one of the harder workers in training, and he took advantage of his opportunity on Saturday.
Well, they were pretty hard working, all of them, Weeds included. But yeah, it doesn't matter who you are. There's always an opportunity that you'll get. That's why sport's such a great thing, because these opportunities arise to write yourself in record books and do things that you'll remember for a long time. And I think Weeds remember that just because for me, it's more of his character as a person and as a player. He's a really light guy, and it couldn't happen to a nicer person.
Nice to be on as a coach, the winning end of the late goals for a change, that work has come through in the end, and you're not on the bad end of one of those?
Yeah, I think that's just an accumulation of the work they put in. You don't just flick a switch and everything just changes overnight. It's just hard work that the guys have put in, and I think if that game went for 10 minutes longer, I think that game would have been 4 or 5-1, to tell you the truth. And that's where they're at with their fitness levels and concentration. Now look, we can go to New England and we can do the same to them, and they potentially could do the same to us. Well, that's football, but what we've got to do is we're narrowing down the probabilities of these things happening because of our mentality.
What did you say to the guys at half? Because like you said, it could have been 4-5. On the flip side, it could have been 3-0 at the half as well, but Joe made a couple of outstanding saves. So anything in particular that you said to them that they came out stronger in that second half?
No, not really. I think the goal was probably one that Joe would normally save but besides that, we had kind of 2 one-on-ones as well that it could have been put away. And most of our goals their chances were from our mistakes. And I think that's what was the frustrating thing for me, is that the defenders did so well on Higuain and Odoro, and they're all their attacking players really. But it was our mistakes that were giving them the opportunity, and that was probably the frustrating thing for me, because I didn't think they were doing anything special. And if we just nullified those mistakes, then we would be in good stead. And that's what happened at the half time. They just didn't make the mistakes, and the pressure mounted on them. And it was just, for a team like Columbus not to have any corners in the game as well is a great marker for how the team kind of played as well.
Robert Earnshaw was working out on his own today. What's his status?
Yeah, him and Bex were working out by their own, so hopefully he's getting back close, so we'll see.
Might he play for Saturday, or is it still... Sunday. Is it still touch and go?
Yeah, probably still touch and go at the moment, but looking a lot more positive, yeah.
Okay. Was Becker injured as well? Or?
Yeah, he just tweaked his adductor in the reserve game, so but nothing major though.
So he might be available for the weekend.
Hopefully, hopefully, a bit too early on in the week.
Right. Gubermans wasn't out there today. What's his sort of situation?
Yeah, still just recovering from his calf, so he's working hard in the gym and just trying to get back. But hopefully he'll be on the grass on the grass pretty soon.
Is he working out on his own, or what's he?
No. He's got the obviously all the sports science guys are there, and physio team are working with him. No. There's always somebody looking over his shoulder.
Is it reasonable to expect that he might be back before the end of the season and play? Well,
yeah, definitely. Of course, there's 13 weeks left, so 13 games left, so long time to go. So if we miss him for the artificial field up in Boston, then we hopefully have him after that.
Andrew, I know you talked about him earlier, but what have you made of the way he kind of came on as a sub and kind of made it a pretty instant impact in the game on Saturday?
Oh yeah, that's what you hope that your substitutions do. Hopefully they change the game or put their personality on the game, and Weeds did, and but I also thought Reggie did really well as well. I thought when he came on, he played well, and Elvira Ray, even for a small time, he backed defenders up and he showed glimpses of what he could do. But I'm really happy for Weeds because, as I said, he just puts his head down and he just gets to work, and I think he understands that, they're really lucky to have jobs that we do, and he puts his head down and enjoys it, a big smile on his face, and it's things like this he'll remember.
Is that his character? Just kind of as a hard-working guy? And
there's some guys you come across in football that you really worry what they're going to do if they don't have football. For a guy like Weege, you just know he's going to always land on his feet. He's always going to be successful in whatever thing he does, because he's such a likeable man, a very impressionable man, and a nice guy. So he's just one of those guys that you wish your son could grow up to be like him.
what are the chances, legitimately, Ryan, that he might get more playing time? Because he has been sort of used sparring. I know he's had injury issues, but I think it was only his third or fourth appearance. So what are the chances that this might be a springboard to more playing time?
Well, it's really the players pick themselves. Like, not really me, to tell you the truth. So it's all their performances of when they come in and when they start, how they perform, when they come in as a substitute, what they do at training, and so obviously when he comes on and scores a goal, it goes to your front of my mind. So yeah, of course. So we'll see as things go on. We'll see how training goes, and we'll see if we can use Weeds to the best of the team's ability.
How has he handled it? I mean, I get the impression, or from looking at it from the outside, he hasn't really kind of sulked or complained, or he just kind of gets on with it. Is that pretty accurate about the lack of playing time?
Yeah, well, I mean, if everybody sulked because they weren't playing, then I'd have 13, 14 sulkers all the time. You can't play all the time. So unfortunately, guys have got to be patient, and they've got to be self-aware, and they've got to realise when it's their time, try and grab it. And generally, the ones that sulk and moan are the ones that when they get their chance, they don't take it. They're too busy sulking or worrying why they weren't starting. So all I worry about is every day. Don't care if you're the first guy or the 25th guy. You're just trying to improve, and you're just trying to get better. And you work hard, and so when that opportunity arises, you take it.
Bobby Convey, I've been really impressed with him the last 2 games. He seems to have really kind of come on after the slow start. I know he wasn't necessarily playing all that much at Kansas City, so might be a bit of a delay thing. But was there anything else that, that you can attribute to this kind of strong form that he's shown lately?
Probably a bit of question for Bobby, but probably understanding his players around him more, understanding the philosophies and the tactics that we use here, and when we bring in players, there's always going to be that transition time, and you have to give those players that time as well. Vera Ray will be the same, and if anybody else comes in, that'll be the same as well. It just takes a bit of time to get to know your teammates, and you move into a big city and a different city, and as I said, get into those formations and what we expect from them. So it does take time, like any settling in period in any job, whatever you do. So luckily now we see Bobby, we see the Bobby that we saw 4 or 5 years ago, like the young Bobby Convey of old.
He does have a lot of versatility, though. When you do, not a lot of players can move to both sides of the pitch, move on and do it successfully. But he seems to have no problem when you have him make that switch to the other side of the pitch.
Yeah. The ability to be able to cut in and onto your left foot is an advantage, and he delivers a very good cross. So on both sides, both feet, as Weeds could tell you. So yeah, Bobby's just again one guy that we're just trying to maximise their ability. Just like all the young players, just like the John Osorios and the Labers and Stephen Cordwells, everybody.
Have you been giving a bit more freedom? Because it seems like, from just my cursory viewing of how he's played, he seems to be kind of floating in behind the main two a little bit more. Seems to be switching side to side. Is that accurate? And have you been giving him a little bit more freedom to leave that right side of the field?
It's not about freedom. It's about the actually tactics. Those are actually reasons why we get the wide guys going from out to in and going underneath the strikers and then switching over as well. They're the things we work on. It's the freedom to use their brain, they use their football brain to realise the times to do it and to judge it themselves. So I suppose we try and give the freedom to use their brains, but it's all with a method and the madness behind it.
It's all part of the grand plan.
It's all part of the horrible grand plan.
Newcomers, any update on potential new players or anything like that?
It looks like there could be something. Maybe tomorrow, I think, to tell you the truth. Maybe tomorrow. So, yeah, I have to hold my breath.
Is this one player? Is this several players?
I think maybe just one. I'm holding my breath though, so I've been holding my breath for a few weeks now. So
What area of the field are we talking about? Can you comment on that?
on the field,
Yes, I know, but
he'll be a player that will come onto the field.
I'm sure it will. But specifically, any
No,
position?
he's just specifically he'll come into the 25, onto the field.
There was a report out of Switzerland today that Jonas Elmer, as a Swiss defender, is going to be joining the club.
Jesus, that would be good. Is he? What's he like?
Never heard of him, to be perfectly honest.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah, I've heard. I think he's a pretty decent player actually. So that'd be good if a player like that comes in. Yeah, but we'll see.
Any chance of him coming in?
So I know you have to. I'll have to read those reports from Switzerland, and I'll get back to you.